So welcome back everyone to the top 5. We're back on top 5 Sunday. We're up for another top 5, and today we're going to go over the top 5 side characters within video games. So basically what I mean by side character is that side character that we always have by our, like, we have on our side in our games that help us throughout the game, but we love, but we can't play as. But we can play as in future installments, but not as like the main plot points, not DLC. We're not including that, any of that. So let's get right into the top 5 list, top 5 side characters within video games. So in at number 5, I've chosen Sully from the Uncharted franchise. Sullivan. We always call him Sully though, because Nathan Drake always calls Sully throughout the game. And basically I've chosen Sully from Uncharted because in Uncharted we never get to play as Sully, but he always takes the laugh of Nathan Drake off him, and like he's always having a joke with him, and he's always funny, and Sully is always having a joke back, and he's a really funny character throughout the games. When I was playing the Uncharted 4, I was really sad that he wasn't in it as much as he was in the first 3, because the first 3 was heavily like in the game, and I really enjoyed that about him, because Sully was like, as soon as I saw him on the screen, I was like, hey, it's Sully, because I really enjoy Sully being on screen, because Sully's a really funny character. Like, he always gets along with Drake. He's the one who made Drake into the life he's living now, like the adventurer, until he quit at the end of Uncharted 4. But he's such a love character in that way, because Sully is literally not a badass, but he's just funny. He's got that funny aspect to him that makes him a lovable character with video games, but he's just not playable. He's never been playing an Uncharted game, and because of that, that's why he's only at number 5. And let's get into number 4. So in at number 4, I've gone a bit off the rules here, but I'm going to go off a single player's point of view, because I've done this also with someone else on the list. I've chosen Dom from the Gears of War franchise. I've chosen Dom from the Gears of War franchise because Dom is a lovable character, because he is like, he knows how to get the shit done, and he gets the objective done. He does whatever he's told. He just does what he is, but he does have a laugh with Marcus now and then within Gears of War 1 to 3. He does this because he's trying to take his mind off the loss of his family and loss of his kids, especially his wife, because his wife broke him the most. And basically, when he's not having these laughs, he's a really serious character. And I put him further up on the list because Dom is like, you see him more often than you do Sully. Dom is like you always see him you always see him between the games 1 to halfway through 3 is basically. You see him all the way through this. You see how much he gets like more worse each day he's living between these lives of his own life. Ever since the danger happened, ever since Locust came up and basically ruined his life forever by getting rid of his family forever. So that's why Dom is at number 4. So in at number 3, I've chosen Cortana from the Halo franchise. Yes, Cortana, the one by Master Chief's side. Every step of the way from Halo 1 to 5, she's in it, but I've chosen Cortana because she's always there with Master Chief, but you never get to play as her because she's an AI. I've chosen this because she's always intelligent. She always gets what the objective is for John, and she actually gets emotionally connected to John within John 117, the Master Chief. Gets emotionally connected, and we get brought into these feelings that Cortana has and what she goes through with a rampancy. Because rampancy really breaks her in Halo 3, and then 4 it really gets out of control, especially when she starts shouting. She shouted at John when she didn't mean to. This is why she's up further on the list than anymore, because her emotions are really like realistic, because she's got emotions more realistic than any, because you can see her breaking down slowly. It's more realistic than Dom's is, even though Dom's has breaks over a couple of games. Cortana's breaks over all the games of the Halo games that Master Chief's in, because she goes from this new AI, and then because she's had over, I think it's over 4 years, and then start going rampancy, and you see her live through the rampancy, and then she gets taken over by the Guardian, and then she takes control of the Guardians because she's left all alone for so many years, and her rampancy's got to her brain, all the brain inside her AI brain, and basically that's why she is at number 3. And let's get right into the number 2 spot. So in at number 2, this is the other one I said that I had a little twist on with from a single player's perspective. I have chosen Ellie from the Last of Us franchise. Yes, it's a franchise now because we got Last of Us Part 2 coming out sometime this year, or maybe next year, maybe in 2019. We don't know when it's announced yet because it's not announced. Basically, I've chosen Ellie because Ellie is this little girl that goes through this zombie apocalypse. You see her from losing her best friend to getting dragged through this hellacious zombie apocalypse, and she's out there to survive. At first you see her really at the beginning of the game, she's real like, I don't care, I just want to go home, and I don't like these people. And at the end, you see her emotionally bond with Joel, and you see her that she gets connected with. You may play as her like only a little bit, and most of it's during a DLC, and basically it's really like you really start to love Ellie. Ellie becomes really lovable about just under halfway through the game, because she grows up in like The Last of Us. She grows up through the entire game. When she starts to bond with Joel, she realizes that she means more to him than she would think. She sees him more like a dad, and then Joel could really like fix that ever since losing his daughter at the beginning of Last of Us. And basically, this is why Ellie's favorite, because she matures throughout all of The Last of Us, coming from being that little girl that used to just fuck around in the mall, and then with her best friend, and then the zombie apocalypse like attacked her, and then she survived, and she realized she's the only one who's got the cure. And that's basically why I've chosen her at number 2, because she is basically the character that develops over the most within The Last of Us. So let's get into number 1. So in at number 1, I have chosen the most badass motherfucker on the fucking planet that I could fucking find. Yes, there's a lot of swear words there, but who cares when you've got Johnny motherfucking Gat. Johnny Gat, the most badass character you'll find in the Saints Row franchise. I've chosen Johnny Gat because you may play as him in the Get Out of Hell game. It's classed as DLC. I'm classing it as DLC because it's technically not a full game. I'm basically putting Johnny Gat at number 1 because Johnny Gat from Saints Row 1 to 4, he's the badass. Even though number 3 wasn't even the most. But Johnny Gat is one of the most loved side characters I've had through my entire life, ever since playing Saints Row 2 when I was a little young kid. Because after completing Saints Row 2, I went back and completed Saints Row 1 because I was a really bad kid, mate. I was playing over these games when I wasn't supposed to. But Johnny Gat is really good because he gets shot, stabbed, crashed in an airplane, and shot at by aliens, and he still survives all this. And he gets emotionally broken in these games because he loses his girlfriend in Saints Row 2. He nearly loses her in the first one, but he saves her in the first one. But in number 2, he really loses her when she actually does die. Emotionally breaks him, and then he finally builds it back up when he finally kills the guy who kills her. He gets his real payback on her and starts shooting him and shit, and calling him an asshole, and gets a payback on the son of the gang that ordered her to get killed. Is basically he buries him alive because he's so angry over it, and that's why I got this probably number 1, because he's a badass motherfucker. Plus, this guy can survive an airplane crash. Anyway, guys, I hope you really like, subscribe, do that good stuff, and as always, leave your comments down below of what you want on next week's Top 5 Sunday. Yes, Top 5 Sunday will be back next week. As always, guys, like, subscribe, see ya in the next one. Bye.